Hi everyone, my name is Parker, and me and my partner Corey did our lesson strategy presentation on mind mapping. So, what is mind mapping? Well, mind mapping is the synthesization of an entire unit's worth of material. So, when we're teaching a unit over a month or more time span, students' information retention can be lackluster, and this is where mind mapping comes in. So, mind maps foster productivity, creativity, and planning skills for students. So, them being able to place a large amount of knowledge all together onto a piece of paper can allow students to collect their thoughts before a test, develop their planning skills, and even serve as a study guide. So here we have an example, which is a mind map on mind mapping, which is some form of inception, I'm sure. And so in the middle, we have a central image. And this image explains or describes or can sum up into one image what your unit is about. So in this scenario, it's mind mapping. And then once you have that central image, you'll create four or five different branches. These are main branches, which are big vocabulary words or themes that are present in your unit. And once you have those four or five main branches, you're going to have secondary branches coming off of it. So if we follow the blue main branch of creativity, we see that it fosters ideas, it allows students to be innovative, and it creates thoughts. So yeah, this is what a mind map looks like. So you're probably thinking, okay, great, that looks cool, but also kind of confusing. And a couple questions you might be asking yourself is, why should I use mind mapping in my classroom? Or how can I use mind mapping in my classroom? Well, I'd like to start with a little quote to tell you why you should use mind mapping in your classroom. So this quote reads, normal linear note taking and writing will put you into a semi hypnotic trance, while mind mapping will greatly enhance your left and right brain cognitive skills. So it's not just some pretty arts and crafts thing you can do with your students. You're actually helping their brains grow, which is something awesome, and it's also a part of our job. And now I want to tell you how to use mind mapping in your classroom. So, a couple things that you should think of before you want to implement this learning strategy is you want to be towards the end of your unit plan. This is just important because you're wrapping everything up and you want to be sure students have all the information that they can get on those mind maps. And you also want to have a test planned near the time of your mind map so that they can use this as a study guide. Now, there's only three very simple steps in creating this learning strategy. So you're going to have students create a central image that reflects your unit. You're going to have students create 4 to 5 main branches with vocabulary words from the unit. And then you're going to have students create 5 to 10 secondary branches that reflect topics and also vocabulary from the unit. So now that you know how to do it and why you should do it, let's try it together. Go ahead and pause this video right here. Go pull out that handout that I placed in the discussion board, and also grab a sheet of paper. Alright, so now that we have a reference guide and a sheet of paper, let's go ahead and try this thing out. So, what I'm going to suggest that you do is start with your concentration in the middle. I am a secondary education English major, so I went ahead and started with English. So what I went ahead and did was created 5 core elements that I think about when I think of my concentration. So I put spelling, creativity, reading, language, and writing. And what the goal is here is to create those 5 main branches that you think are core elements when you think about your concentration. And for the final step, I went ahead and added 5 secondary branches to each branch that further explained what that main vocabulary word meant to me. So, when I think of language, I think of developing our language, how much power it withholds. I think of the effects of figurative language, the code switching that we do with our language in the classroom and outside of the classroom, and the American English language that we will be learning in my classroom. So, you are going to create 5 secondary branches off of each branch that further explains what that main vocabulary word means. And it's as simple as that. So, 3 easy steps lead to this decadent learning strategy. So, not only are we building our students' brains, but we're giving them a creative outlet. Mind maps foster a productive and planned lifestyle and also allow students to express themselves artistically. I'd like to end on a quote by Rita Kapur when she says, "If the brain is the lock, the mind map is the key." So, if we think of our students' brains as this vault of knowledge, then we can allow them to expound that knowledge in a collective and creative way. I hope you all enjoy this strategy and that it can benefit your classroom. And I would also love to see your creations in the discussion board. Thanks so much.